Thanks very much. It's a fantastic turnout despite the rain. And for those of you who aren't from the People's Republic, welcome to a real Labour heartland. A city region where every single council is Labour controlled, and where I'm hoping to be the first ever Metro Mayor Labour. It'll probably come as a shock to many of you to discover that not every word that's actually said here will be true and accurately reported. So, for the avoidance of any doubt, I wanted to briefly explain why I supported Jeremy, when many of you know that I didn't vote for him in the leadership contest last year. 12 months ago, I not only backed Andy Burnham, but did everything I could to get him elected as the leader of the Labour Party. In fact, Jeremy had a rally just in the Adelphi, just up there, and whilst we were addressing a few hundred people in the other end of the country, we were getting reports that the queue went right the way around the block, and there wasn't even standing room in the hotel. It should be noted that the Adelphi had their best ever bar-taking standards. So it appears that some of you enjoyed yourselves. But during that campaign, we soon realised that members had had enough of Westminster spin. They wanted a different type of politics. They'd had enough of soundbites and triangulation. And the truth is that when the result was announced on Saturday the 12th of September 2015, we got whacked, and Jeremy received an overwhelming mandate from the membership. At that stage, we could have took our ball home and took no part in it, but we didn't. And the reason that we didn't is simple. It's because the Labour Party is the most important and vital part of our movement, bigger than any individual, and the will of the membership must be listened to. Members are the lifeblood of our party, and of course we need to listen to the wider concerns of people throughout the country suffering under Tory austerity. Critics say that those that support Jeremy must be happy to be in perpetual opposition. So let me be absolutely clear, I'm not happy to be in opposition. I don't want to simply be in a protest party. I desperately want to see a Jeremy Corbyn-led Labour government. Connected with all levels within the party. We all know that divided parties don't win elections, so let's ensure that this contest ends division and heralds a new unity of purpose. But feeling isolated within our party isn't a new phenomenon. I've been there myself. Been there when I believed as a party member I wasn't being listened to. Been there when nationally we were pushing through changes that I fundamentally disagreed with, but I didn't walk away. I was a councillor in 2002, and there were times when I thought the national leadership at that time took our efforts for granted. We became voting for it, sometimes for things that we were principally opposed to. It's a time when I truly understood what the democratic deficit really meant. Look, it's never easy for our party sometimes in regards to the responsibilities for the great social advances that we've made over the last 100 years. On this very plateau over the weekend, rebels took part in Liverpool Pride, which saw thousands celebrate diversity of the LGBT community. But the Liverpool Pride festivities are always twins with the realisation that just a few years ago we celebrated our our turn as European capital culture in 2008, young Michael Corsa was murdered on the streets simply because of his sexuality. So, we should never forget that there was a Labour Prime Minister 49 years ago that decriminalised homosexuality, and we should remember the proud history of our party. Intolerance in any form is anathema to our movement. Bigotry and prejudice have no part in our democratic movement, and as soon as possible we should refocus on who it is that we really should be fighting. The Tories may try to steal our rhetoric, but they've a very definite set of priorities, principles and values. And I know not a single person here will be fooled by the new Prime Minister's phony road to Damascus transformation. When she spoke about social justice, I nearly cried. The Tories can't even spell social justice. We are the true party of the workers. We are the true party of the makers, and we always have been and always will be the only party of social justice. I'm sitting behind Jeremy in the chamber when Theresa May challenged Inner Thatcher European views. Do you remember when she stooped forward, looked Jeremy in the eyes, lowered the tone of her voice and uttered the words, "Remind him of anybody?" My blood ran cold. I wanted to scream. Yes, it reminds me of the woman who decimated communities up and down the country. The woman who said there's no such thing as society. We can't allow Theresa May to do the same as her heroine did. If we didn't have a Labour Party, we'd have to invent one. The Tory cuts to the poorest areas, hitting the weak and most vulnerable the hardest, are ideological. Make no mistake about that. I'm from a city region that's been hit the hardest by the sacked George Osborne. I'm a socialist. Socialist, we can say that now. I'm a socialist. I never thought I'd celebrate somebody losing their job. But on this occasion, you'll have to forgive me for indulging in a large portion of Schadenfreude. The thing is though, Gideon won't be sent on a job search programme or have to attend an ATOS assessment. His mates in the city will look after him, along with allies like IDS and Michael Gove. He was one of the architects of the attacks on our workers. As a party, we should therefore concentrate on what's really important to most people. And it's not internecine arguments that allow the Tories off the hook to inflict further damage on areas like ours. The last time we had a woman Prime Minister, our city suffered more than any other area in the country. But to be honest, the last time we had a male Tory Prime Minister, our area also suffered more than any other area in the country. It's not about who leads their party, it's the party they lead. It's still the party of privilege, it's still the party of the bosses, and despite their attempts at detoxification, they're still very much the nasty party. They can try to rebrand themselves as much as they like, but we know what the real face of the Tories is. In the 80s, a Tory cabinet sat around the big green table in Downing Street, contemplating whether to discuss the managed decline of Liverpool. But they didn't destroy us then, and they won't destroy us today or tomorrow. We are the city of solidarity. and sorority, a city of truth and justice. And I've had nothing but support from Jeremy Corbyn from day one in the campaigns that I've fought for. Whether it's the Shrewsbury pickets, contaminated blood scandal, victims of mesothelioma and asbestosis related diseases, the exploitation of workers by umbrella companies, the blacklisting of construction workers. I could go on, but he's always backed me. And I've worked with Jeremy more closely than probably any other MP in Parliament over the last 10 months. To do that, we had to build a bond of trust. I've got to know him and his family, and he's got to know mine. That bond is as strong today as it was when we first started together. I've found Jeremy to be one of the most honest